Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode number 26 of the Sim Racing in Focus podcast. We are a podcast that talks about sim racing, as the name suggests, and I am your host, Dean Reddit, and I am joined by co-host extraordinaire, once again, Jacob Packets Hughes. Packets, welcome back. How are you?
Hey, mate, I'm pretty good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad. Pretty stoked to be getting a second podcast out in the week. So we do this a little bit, don't we? We peak and trough quite regularly. So, I'm calling this the first in our fortnightly episodes. That's what we're aiming for. So, speak it into existence. Hopefully, we can get some fortnightly. So, this is our first one. Last week's one was a bit of a get the rust off type moment, but tonight we are joined once again I think it's the third time now by Ricky Provenzale from Premier Endurance League. Rick, how are you?
Very good, boys. Nice to be here again.
Must be getting a familiar feeling now coming and joining us on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, really.
I think you know the answer to that. You're a sucker for punishment.
Yeah,
mate.
I wonder why I do it to myself.
But we love you. Yeah, we love you for it, mate. People tuning in on YouTube will notice that Rick doesn't have his webcam on. He has been reprimanded, so he knows next time that he has to have a webcam ready.
I do apologise, everyone.
Yeah, and I'm sure Packets will do an interesting photo to compensate for no stream from your end, Rick.
I was actually hoping he would.
Well, at the end of the day, like anyone that's watching this on YouTube now, they're probably like, what are you talking about? We can see a photo up there. So it'll already be up there.
You know, he's pretty good with AI these days too. Maybe we get a motion photo going up there. Just with a little mouth over.
Yeah, he's an unusually talented man.
Yeah. His talents don't lie in normal areas, that's for sure. They're usually in deep, dark corners somewhere. Very good. All right, well, hopefully tonight we're going to get over. Obviously, it is build week in iRacing, so we've got the season 1 2026 build in the second week of December 2025. So it's getting earlier and earlier now, the 2026 season or the next year's season. And we've got a fair bit to talk about with the build update. And one that sort of strikes a little bit close to home is also the release of the new Porsche Cup car, which we'll get into shortly. But before we do all that, mate, Rick, let's start with you. Mate, what have you been up to just sort of recently since we've last spoken to you? Just in a little snapshot, mate, what have you been doing on the sim or anything else in the world that you might like to talk about?
Well, it has been a while. A lot has happened.
Yeah, maybe not all the details.
Look, in terms of I'm sure Packers would love that. In terms of sim racing in general, not a lot. My own personal driving has now been set aside a fair bit these days still, and much of the focus is actually on PEL and the progression and the goals that we're still trying to achieve. Obviously a lot of work by both myself and Leith and a lot of others as well in the background, especially Ruth Rishra. It's something that really never ending. So we've just been chipping away, trying to restructure things, get an idea of what we want to do moving forward into next season. Obviously keeping up with the day-to-day routines of this current season. And in general, everything's going pretty good, really. It's not really a lot of excitement to report. It's all boring late nights.
Yeah, but you're okay. So you're full blown admin now and league administration. So not a whole lot of driving. Not a whole lot of. Did that happen soon after your big incident at Monza, or is that when you decided to pull the pin, or is?
I think it'd have been a long time coming, really.
Ricky Kamikaze got banned from his own league.
Or did it happen more recently, like let's say in the last 2 weeks under a flood of protests?
The hardware failures I've been experiencing have been pretty
hardware failures.
Oh yes, unfortunately, it's that old gremlin. Yeah, unfortunately, became a little bit too unpredictable. We haven't been able to rectify the problem just yet. So last night was my my first attempt after we attempted to find the issue, but unfortunately seemed a bit better, but no go. So that plus the fact is, my time has probably passed by a little bit in terms of utmost performance. It's not like it was. And now you just got to get to the point where you think, well, my focus is probably better off elsewhere, mainly for the benefit of other people, really. Which is good. It's fine. Doesn't really bother me. I'm getting to that point now. You all get to that point, I guess. You get towards the 40 mark, and you're not going to keep up with these kids that are coming through in 18, 19, 20. They're just amazing, really.
And maybe speak for yourself there, mate.
Well, denial's a thing there.
I'm nearly 40, but I'm still 21 in the head.
Cool. But yeah, that's mostly it. Plus, Pell really demanded more of my time now. What we're doing in terms of all that stuff is, again, progressively been getting more serious. A lot more going on, a lot more things to plan, and attention needed both on the race weekends and during the week, really. So yeah, now these days I was basically looking for an excuse to get out of the car, and it's more of a race director's role, overseeing everything that's going on, making sure that it all ties together properly. Any issues that arise can be fixed, things can be monitored. There's a lot of benefits there as opposed to competing in the series yourself.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. And yeah, it's pretty important that you don't allow any toxic personalities back into the league. No, all right, we'll leave that there. Speaking of toxic personalities, Packets, what have you been up to in your sim racing?
Every time I was talking to Rick, he's always like, when are you coming back? Like, he wants me there. Like,
of course, we want everyone there.
He's a sucker for punishment.
No, obviously we're joking. Not that Packets hasn't caused his fair share of headaches over the last couple of weeks, but yeah, have you been up to anything? Yeah, I know you've been sort of winding down now, Packets, towards the end of the year. League racing sort of finished up this week. Were you involved with anything, or did you give yourself a week off?
Honestly, I think the last thing I raced was Premier. Yeah, it was. The Premier is the last thing I raced. I don't think I've actually done anything on the sim except for do cable management since. I haven't done anything. I've just been busy doing furniture making and Christmas lights and
We've had this weird sort of period in the team, Rick, where it's kind of been like the block, but for sim rooms, where I think Packets has led like a spurred on some inspiration for everyone to just all of a sudden overhaul their sim room.
I can blame you for all the money that I'm missing.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I'm still stuck with this ordinary screen at the back, but I've got some stuff coming that hopefully gets me looking a little bit better on screen as well. So yeah, Packets has triggered a little bit of a chain reaction in our team with all of his, looking at his room now. It looks pretty cool. So we're hoping to follow suit. It's very good. A bit about what I've been up to is not a whole lot. I think probably caused a pretty big accident in the GSRC race on Thursday night, but
that's an understatement, by the way. That's an understatement. You murdered most of the field.
Stop it.
That was bad, that one.
I was. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to show you that one later on, Rick. You can let me know how I can get off that. Yeah. Well, it was last race of this. It was last race of the season, just to put some context on you, but it was a triple header. It was 3 races, so had a decent race one. Got caught up in some I made my own mistake and then got caught up some shit in race 2. And then so I started from way down the back in race 3, and this was at Interlagos. And on the opening lap, we went through the center S's onto the straight down to turn 4, and someone got clipped into the barrier, and I just kept the throttle in essentially. And yeah, I got close to making about 15 spots on the straight, but I got to about 14 and then hit the 15th car and ended up ricocheting back into a lot of traffic. So
it was literally like the Porsche version of Days of Thunder. He just drove through the smoke.
You know what? I wholeheartedly agree with you, mate. You should totally get off that. That's not irresponsible at all.
I've not to toot my own horn, but I've not amassed any license points, I think, from pretty much any league that I've raced in, but I got a few on Thursday night. Got a few license points, right? So I'm not going to protest it because it was probably deserved, but look, I got to tell you, I was pretty close to making it through, and you know, another night and it would have been 15 spots made on lap 1.
Well, I know a gentleman that's actually qualified and recently actually represented himself in a formal appeal. He was somewhat successful and carried himself quite well. Maybe you should hit him up. He might be able to help you out with that one. Must be the mustache.
If it's the guy I'm thinking of, he does represent our team in all legal matters to do with this league. So, yeah, he's
wonderful.
Better call Packets.
I'll tell you what, Ricky probably could have used me. Was it last season at Bathurst, lap 1, where he come burling from the back and drove through the big pile up down Conroy?
Oh yeah, Ricky done. Yes. Essentially just copy and paste the incident that you had in that Bathurst race and put it in. That was me on Thursday night.
Yeah, that was.
It was literally like that.
Serious misjudgment on my side. And unfortunately, the second of its nature in my sim racing career. Oh god.
Your second mistake ever? Did you say?
No, second of its nature. We had a race at Watkins once, very very early on the old Blendline series. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, they were stacking up behind the safety car over the hill. Coming up into turn 2, and I didn't know, so I was piling through there at full speed, and next thing I come up a whole wall of metal and took out about must have been 6 or 8 cars. So that was a bit unfortunate. God. People weren't happy about that. So yeah.
Dog. That's where you say the dog jumped on your pedals, isn't it?
I think I just left and put my head down and ran away because I made a huge mistake. I was quite new then, in my defence, but unfortunately comms wasn't working for me. I didn't realise it at the time. I had the settings incorrect, and so yeah.
Oof,
get a track map. Get a track map. It helps a lot.
Yeah, that's great advice. All right. Well, very good. It's good to hear what everyone's been up to. But let's crack into the first part of the episode then, and we'll sort of unpack a little bit about the new build that's coming up on iRacing. So, as we record this, I think we're about to enter week 13, and so we'll see a bit of this new content coming out. But as of yet, we haven't actually had a chance to test any of it. But guys, as I guess a little bit of a quick summary. Coming out this week, we've got the Porsche 992.2. That content will be free for the owners of the 991.1. And obviously be a paid version if you don't already own the car. We've got the FIA Cross Car, which is I'm sure the dirt community's been hanging out for this particular bit of content that's been about a decade in the making. So essentially it looks like a formula car for dirt.
They are amazing.
But
I love them.
There you go.
They are awesome. It's
well,
good to see.
Well, I can confidently say that I'm completely unqualified to talk about dirt, but it just looks underwhelming at the first glance to me. But I'm glad someone actually knows.
I'm not really an expert. I'll say that straight away. But I have seen a bit of them in the real life, and they're very cool. And I've been begging the wife for a budget to build one for a couple of years now, so hopefully we'll get there.
All right, well, we're going to come back to you for more information on that then. What else is coming? We've got the Miami International Autodrome, well, essentially the Miami Street Circuit. Perhaps the biggest of all is Adelaide Street Circuit, and we've got the Lucas Oil Speedway, Rockingham Speedway, and a refresh of Mount Panorama. They also went on a little bit to talk about the new graphics engine and still in development. The single-player career mode hasn't been forgotten about, although it seemed for a long time like it had, and a few more quality of life improvements that are not coming in this build, but they just sort of updated as and teasers that they're going to be coming early next year. So, guys, that's a really quick sort of breakdown of the major talking points out of the build. And look, let's kick off with the Adelaide Street Circuit as something that's probably going to appeal to most people to talk about. We knew for some time that this was coming. It's seemingly get put into production much faster than Pukekohe ever did. That thing's sort of out in the hill somewhere, rotting in the sun. But we get Adelaide Street Circuit. We obviously, as Australians, we're pretty pumped for this one. But talk to me, Packets, firstly, about what your sort of thoughts are with this one coming down the line.
I'm really pumped for it because, I've always wanted this one. And, the moment it got announced, I was amped up for it. I seen today, Basic Ollie was live streaming because he gets a sneak peek trial before every release. He was running it today with the updated Porsche Cup car, and it looks really good.
Ooh, I haven't actually seen that. Have you seen anything of the Adelaide Street Circuit, Rick, yourself?
No, not yet. I have about as much information as everyone else. I think it's going to be massive. We've all obviously been waiting for it. So I think
obviously
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, as a league owner and admin, the pressure's going to be on to keep included in the next season's calendar. But what are your thoughts about GT3 racing around Adelaide? Do you think that's something that's going to appeal to you as schedulers for your series?
It better be.
I love how the questions come straight out. We only just started talking about the track. Look, it is on the cards. It is part of the initial track list that we've got planned for next season. There are some confirmations that we still have to make, mainly in terms of its capacity. If we can only fit 40 cars on, like the other street circuits, most of them, exclusion of Long Beach and Detroit, correct me if I'm wrong. If we've only got 40 cars, then basically for us, that would probably rule it out. Most of the time we will see grids, especially in the limited series, well beyond that. So if it can cater for 60 cars total, that would probably be a very likely thing to happen. We will see Adelaide come in. I know everyone's going to be pumped for it. Where we put it, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, turn one with a bunch of GT3 cars at Adelaide seems pretty sketchy.
Yeah, GT3 there. Sorry, I should have touched on that. We've done worse. We've done worse. And Packets has got videos that everyone can watch on that and see for themselves what the result was. But Long Beach, especially, is very, very tough with that last corner. It's extremely tight. For a sport type car, that can be a challenge, mostly when there's other cars involved. Single file, not too bad. It's still very tight, but doable. Once you start getting things like race stars and things like that involved, it can be quite difficult. And I don't think Adelaide would probably be as bad what that is. So I don't see any reason as to not give it a go. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We just don't do it again. Really.
The good thing with like Adelaide, I noticed with the footage I've seen today, like, because you don't really realize it when you watch supercars and that, because it just, I don't know, the footage happens that faster than just the way that the cameras are in the FOV and that. It's hard to really sort of like get an idea of how wide the tracks are. But watching the footage today of the Porsche Cup car go around there, there's a lot of runoff over curbs. Whereas like Long Beach, there's no curbs, there's just wall.
Yeah.
So like Adelaide has a lot of curbs, then a gap, and then the wall. So as far as street circuits goes, it seems like one of the safer ones, like, which is odd because it's a pretty brutal one for supercars. But yeah, I think iRacing for us, it'll be probably one of the safer ones. And like turn one's probably going to be the biggest issue with it, but that'll probably be one of the only issues with it. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. So it's still tires on the inside of T1 and the outside of T2, isn't it? The chicane. So I wonder how the model's going to work. Like, obviously in real life, you can clip that tire pretty hard and not sustain a whole lot of damage. But I wonder how that'll work in iRacing.
well, one thing I don't know if they've put, so iRacing has a new thing that's coming out this season where it's got movable tire bundles. So Daytona in the bus stop, the latest update, they had that tire bundle on the exit in the last chicane. Anyway, it's like that many people were hitting it and literally bouncing backwards or bouncing off into the exit and like just causing mad pileups. So they've got this new update now. If you hit the tire bundle, your car basically spins out with it and it moves the tire bundle. And I think it resets every lap, I think. But yeah, so the tire bundle actually moves like you hit it, and yeah, it writes your car off still, but it's more of a collision stopper. So it'll stop you from actually bouncing back out of the track. It'll make you sort of go in that direction rather than bouncing off it.
Yeah, right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you have any experiences like that with the stuff that you've been doing? Like, I didn't do Daytona recently after that update, I don't think, so I didn't know about that tire bundle being the big issue.
It's horrendous.
No, especially not being in the car as much these days. No. I've heard people mention some things in terms of updates here.
It's hard to keep up because they've done that many freaking updates on Daytona as well. Like,
oh, yeah. But everything in general,
all the time.
It's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Although I really should. But it's interesting to see what they do and how they do it, why they do it. And it's good to see that, regardless of what they're actually doing, that they're progressing. And hopefully one day they get it to the point where everything's perfect, not just tyre bundles, but a lot of other bits and pieces that we all know that need to be fixed up. But it is mostly.
Yeah, hopefully it's. Well, that sounds like, hopefully what Packett's is saying there is coming in for Adelaide, because under the way the iRacing damage model's been previously, I would see that being a big issue if they put the tyre bundle there at all.
I agree.
Especially, GT3s with the aero damage they'd get off that. So
I think we're going to see Turn 8 pretty much brutalise everyone in that sense as well.
Yeah.
Aero.
Very good. No, I think, from Australians' point of view, it's another great track to be adding to the surface. So, you guys went to the Bend this year, didn't you, Ricky, for PEL? Was that a good track for GT3 racing?
No, in my opinion. It was okay.
No,
but it wouldn't be a track that we would select again. Mostly overtaking. But also, I think it just didn't really fall in very well with drivers in terms of this category of racing. Supercars, everything else, probably a bit different. But
did you do the full version, or?
No, we didn't do the GT variation. We did the international one, I believe it is.
Yeah.
So pretty much what I believe you see the supercars doing. But yeah, it was not an issue. But again, it's probably not something that would really attract us back, and especially being a GT3 based series, we're mostly looking at those, classic European and Japanese circuits, obviously American as well. But most of those well-known, big heavy hitters is what we're really looking for. So especially being a 5 or a 6 round season, we want to pile in, all the tracks that people love and are suited more so, to the category of racing. And big grids. Big grids is a very big consideration for us. But things like Adelaide,
speaking of,
sorry,
no, you're right. Go.
I was saying things like Adelaide definitely need to be, popped in every now and again, and utilised, especially with something that's going to be as popular as what it is. Anyway.
So like on the back of track selections, you raced last night, didn't you? Is that
right? Myself personally, or in general?
No. Did you race at Fuji last night?
The Open Series, yeah, we had the final round. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what was your impression of the first gear chicane off the back straight?
I think, am I being lined up here? Am I?
Man,
we never line you up at all, Ricky.
Really? Well, we were friends at first.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
And we weren't. I got a little bit ambitious in terms of multitasking, and started going all over the place. And I realised that I'd pushed my luck a little bit too far. By that point, I'd already experienced one hardware issue, and I was getting a bit nervous. And I thought, "Oh, look, I've had a drama. I think I might pull it in now and make sure I stay out of the boys' way, especially in the final championship round." I was also anxious to see what was going on.
Was that a really politically correct way to say you rage quit?
I did not rage quit. I safely made my way back to the pits and exited my vehicle after some time, after I realised that I'd forgotten to do so, and the engine blew up and started to smoke in the pit bay.
Wow, you have been out of it a long time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I come back and thought, I better correct that. But anyway, nice try, boys.
All right, let's move on to the Cup car. So this one affects us a lot, Packets, as a team that is really primarily doing this car as a main category at the moment. And a car that's got a little bit of traction now, we're happy to sort of say, in Australia. So we've got a few leagues popping up all over the place. So, mate, initial thoughts here with the 992.2. Maybe outline a few of the major changes coming for that car.
Well, I think the two biggest ones that everyone knows about, and that's the ones that everybody is sooking about, and the ones that probably sook about it the most are probably the ones that need these assists. But yeah, it's getting ABS and traction control. But I don't know. There's a lot of people that aren't happy about it, but it's just how it is. Like the same people that whinge about getting this are the same people that whinge about wanting the realism. So yeah, I don't understand where they get off by sort of wanting that but not the other. But yeah, I'm all for that. I think the biggest thing for me is like the sound is actually better on it. The gear whine, the actual exhaust note. Like the current car has no exhaust note. It's just all engine whine. Whereas the new one is not the same, but it's very similar to the Porsche GT3, where it's got a lot of exhaust note from low revs to about mid-range. And this thing got the same sort of noise, which is like heaps better. And it's funny. Like I'm a very noise-focused person when it comes to these cars and the way they sound. And I suppose getting a bit sidetracked, but the Aston has had a noise refresh as well to fix the popping and crackling. And then they have also yeah, they have also updated the engine noise on the BMW GT3. But
Really?
it just sounds like it. Yeah, but I've only heard a quick clip. He didn't actually drive it; he just sort of revved it in the pits, and it sounded like it's got more pop and crackle at the exhaust. But the engine note kind of sound the same. But I don't know. Sometimes neutral doesn't do the same thing. But yeah, they've both had a little refresh. But yeah, the Cup car sounds like really good. The new one, I like it, and I'm really keen to see how it feels. I know based off what Basic Ollie was saying that the braking feels completely different. Like there's no similarities between it.
Really?
You can run it very deep. Yeah, like he was running laps at Bathurst, and yeah, even on cold tires, he was running it very deep in the Conrod. So yeah, see how that goes. But I don't know. It's still a pretty cool car. And if they get that tire model right and the thing does move around still a fair bit, yeah, I think people still like it. I know I will. Like, it's going to take a lot for it to not be fun. Like,
Yeah, definitely, mate. Rick, has this one got any implications for you and what you're up to in iRacing, or you don't give two hoots about it?
could be a potential safety car for him.
Yeah, it's good to see. Very good, actually. Updates in general, whether the specific updates are for the better or not, that's up to the individual to decide. Everyone's different. I think you'll find that most people will appreciate it. It's not an easy car to deal with in terms of braking. Traction a little bit different, but yeah, obviously the purists will be a little bit upset, but I haven't had a lot to do with it. It doesn't really have a lot to do with what I do, but I do like the fact that they're doing this sort of stuff with all the cars that are the most popular, especially, and people have got the best possible, quality product. If they enjoy the racing and they go out and they do it, and they attend everything, leagues and divisions, whatever, it's always a good thing. So, good on them, and hopefully they keep going.
Yeah, I guess the purists or the Cup car traditionalists, probably don't like to see people come in and just afforded an easy intro into the car. I think people going back to even the old 991 was like, yeah. It was a tough skill to master that car, and the 992 copped a little bit of criticism for being a little bit more of an easier car to learn in the beginning as well, and this one's going to go the same way. But one of the things I'm hearing packets is people complaining about too much pork on the fork. Like, have we got too much Porsche cars in iRacing?
Well, I don't understand what people mean by that, because the only thing is iRacing has a big deal with Porsche, but take away the electric car, and realistically, it's pretty even across the brands. Oh, not all the brands. Like, obviously, there's some brands that have got one maker car, but you look at Ford. We've got so many different types of Fords on here. Like, we've got so many different types of BMWs. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's Porsche have got a big market in a lot of different categories. And that's just how it is in real life. Like, so.
You said that's how it is.
I don't really see that as a problem.
What are they supposed to do?
Yeah, like exactly. That's literally how it is. Like, it's So,
well, I guess just to be devil's advocate, the one thing that iRacing can do, right, is like it says it in the title, that 992. Well, there's a 992, 992.1, 992.2. It's like I guess it's seen as, charging again for essentially like something that if you missed the 0.1 or the 0.2, would it actually, I guess this car's a little bit different in the fact that it is bringing it in line with the traction control and the ABS, but previous cars is really just not a whole lot of difference. So I don't know. It's just when you do look at your car, you see like, you look at Porsche and there's like 3 versions of the GT3 and 3 versions of the Cup car, and it's just, are you getting value for money in each iteration? I guess that is down to the individual as well.
Yeah. At the end of the day, too, like, it's hard to get angry at this one because we're not really paying for the upgrade. No matter when you bought it, you're going to get the upgrade for free. So I don't know. When you look at it in that sort of sense, you're like, it's not really cost me anything. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it's all the blow ups about it, or most of the blow ups about it, are pretty unnecessary. I understand why. Like, it's a very niche thing to be able to tame the beast of the current one. Man, I remember when the current one came out, and I was like what you were saying before, I was blown up about how easy it was to drive because I really liked the 911. Sorry, the 911, the 991. Like, I really enjoyed driving that because it was just, man, like lap one, every official, like half the field was gone in like the first lap because they just could not drive it. Like, it was harder than the supercar, I thought, like, to drive. But yeah, like, I don't know. You're not going to please everyone, and yeah, too bad.
Too bad, so sad. Fair enough.
Yeah,
all right. Well, we're dragging this one out a little bit. So let's just go. Between the FIA rallycross, essentially, I don't know what to call that thing, like an open wheel of dirt car.
The Formula CrossFit
Miami,
car.
Yeah. Between that, Miami International, Bathurst rescan, or anything else in the content upgrade that's about to come out, is there anything else there that catches either of your fancy or something you'd like to talk about?
What do you reckon, Ricky?
Let's have a look.
Miami interesting at all?
Yeah, that is.
There's an iRacing boat on that track. in the harbour, there's a boat on there, like a big yacht, and it's painted in like red and blue. It's got iRacing all over it.
Really? in the scan, in the track, like, or obviously not in real life.
On the actual scan of it, like, they've painted a boat and it's got iRacing written all over it.
I haven't seen much of that at all, but it does sound good.
The Bathurst update looks really good, by the way. Like, it looks like really, really good. You know, like when you're going across the top of the mountain, you're coming down and you look out in the distance and you just see like a green bland patch, and you're like, oh, that looks like Bathurst is one of the worst looking tracks because you can see so much of the area that you're not meant to see.
Okay.
The updated one now, you can actually see a town like far, far away. The trees, like the updated trees, make such a massive difference, like especially going across the top and going up the mountain. It looks like really good. That's a massive improvement.
The track itself?
Well, that's anything on the track itself?
Sorry.
Nah, so like there wasn't like a rescan or anything like that. It was just a graphical update. So like even some of the track banners are still some of the old ones that aren't actually there anymore. But the actual like so like the hotel, all the trees, the fencing, the power lines, and the very, very far ground areas, so like the town and whatnot, there's actual like houses and streets you can see there now. It just looks, just in general, it just looks a lot better.
That's very cool.
Oh, yeah, that sounds pretty promising. I don't know. Miami is sort of like interesting because it's Miami, but I don't really. Just watching a bit of F1 there, like, it seems okay. But I think they've managed to scan on. It goes around a car park and a stadium and stuff there, so they've got all that included. So hopefully we don't see frame rates drop to through the ground when you pump a 50 car Premier Endurance League grid onto it. I think that one should hold. That one hopefully should hold 50 plus cars.
I would think so. I don't think there's any issue there. But who knows with this sort of thing. It's always hard to say what to expect. But no, I reckon you're right. It should be fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're going to leave the new build there. We covered it as best we could without, we'll get to see it more this week. And, we'll be able to talk a little bit further about what we like and what we don't like about it when we come back in a fortnight's time. But let's move on now. Let's go now to Premier Endurance League. And Rick, as Packets alluded to earlier, I think the Open Championship was concluded last night. With the Premier Endurance League. So I'm going to toss this one over to you. Maybe you could give us a little bit of a talk through about how the season went and obviously conclude with what the final standings were and I guess what your sort of highs and lows were from the season.
The Open Series. Season 2, all in all, went very, very well. We finished up last night. The boys went out there for the final round at Fuji. And Damon Woods wrapped it up, as usual, very, very dominant. So we had a good start to the season. It was a little bit better. Sorry, excuse me, I wasn't prepared for this topic exactly. It was a lot better than what we anticipated in terms of the planned progress that we were going to see. We had a lot of high-profile drivers wanting to enter, and we also had quite a lot of other drivers that were interested from our own limited series. So, all in all, started very strong. We actually ended up this season with 60 odd drivers, I think it was, registered for the series. And we had a decent field, I think, around the 40 mark for the opening round. And we've seen quite a bit, of good racing there. It was a very memorable one. Scotty Rankin in particular, one of our commentators, he commented on just how much he loved that race. And it got us very excited for what was going to come for the season. And again, we did quite well, but we did see a little bit of drop-off. That could, again, be attributed to a number of things. Some we were aware of, some we weren't, and especially having people like Damon Woods around. We knew that, the tail end would dwindle away naturally. So we went through the rest of the season. Had again a number of good races. Damon mostly dominating pretty much everything, apart from the one he didn't show up to. And yes, we did quite well for the second season. We're happy with where things are at now. We feel like moving into season 3, things should be pretty well to the point where we're going to see more numbers and more density. In terms of higher profile drivers and overall pace up towards the front end. So very excited to see how next season comes in. We do have a number of ideas as to what we're going to do with that. And mostly remain the same. But again, we won't make too many early moves. We'll wait and see how things go. And then we'll decide on what we think is the best option moving forward for that series. But again, I don't think there's going to be a lot to change, really. It seems like it's going to do really well, and it's based off the original Pearl Limited series, which is, hugely popular. So we should slowly see that series stack up as well and have quite big grids, hopefully.
Nice one. Yeah, I think we had Scotty on for one of our previous episodes, and I'm not sure if it was the current season or it might have been the season before, but I think he was raving about a Bathurst race, if memory serves me correctly. Yeah, so, and there was a lot that sort of unfolded in the last, even though you guys run 2-hour endurance races in the GT3, there was a lot that unfolded in the last 15 minutes that, and a little bit of controversy as well. So
that's what we always say. You just never know what's going to happen in these races. The last half an hour, look at Packets, for God's sake. The guy's a dingbat, and he still manages to get up to the top 10. You go into the Discord, and he's all mopey and bummed out. He's top 58 minutes of penalties or whatever it is. And I said to him, mate, it's okay, hang in there. You never know. And sure enough, him and many others, they end up, in a place they never thought they would be. And we see some really great stuff to watch. It's just so unpredictable.
Yeah, you wouldn't think after you'd think it would be the total opposite with a 2-hour race, that you would be getting to the end and you would have really spaced out, spaced out grids and not a whole lot of battling on track. But it's not even necessarily fabricated through late race safety cars or anything. But it seems to be that. I think that the recent GT3 updates have been really good for this. We're offering different strategies that can be equally as competitive. But the league seems to be having finishes to these events that are really good and good to watch. And as always, you guys have the shorts that come out not too long after the races. Normally you do, and we get to see some of that in the short form content as well. So.
It is. I say to all the new guys, have a chance to talk to me. I always say, listen, just survive. The last 45 minutes really is what it's all about. Getting towards that final pit, running on the fuel limit, and just not having any dramas. If you get caught up in stuff, we all know. We've all been around the traps, but it's it's something you really got to avoid. Just hang in there, keep your head down, look after your tyres and your fuel, and you'll be fine. Yeah, quite often it's just the most dramatic stuff. I can think of quite a number of moments we've had where you're just thinking, what the actual, what is going on here? We're just sitting on the edge of the seat going, oh my God, here we go again. Especially the likes of Owen Coleman. He always likes to provide us some awesome moments in the past when he fought back after a little mistake to try and win the championship, or hang on to it, I should say. Packets with his antics. There's just so much, and it's good to
see. That's awesome. So, with the Open Series, so it looked like you did get a little bit more top end talent in this season compared to the first season. So, do you think that there might be drivers looking at Premier Endurance League as a good sort of, grounding for preparing for the GT3 Pro Series, or any sort of like, I guess, inkling as to why you got that little bit of top end talent coming in? I mean, it's obviously a good thing.
A number of factors again probably contributed to this. We did have a lot of people in general dislike the format. They also like the way we do things. In terms of what goes on track, off track, admin processes, things like that have drawn people over. We have had a number of drivers that have come over by invitation, especially people like Damon
Does
Woods.
that include me or?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, not me.
Just so we're all clear.
I think you were invited to leave and you didn't accept.
I just wanted to join so I could kick him out.
I thought it might have had something to do with Jimmy Middleton stepping down from being an admin.
Oh, that's rough. He's not even here to defend himself.
Jimmy was making some wild claims the other day, saying that he overtaken Ricky. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. No, sorry. That's obviously, if you go back through the catalogue, you'll hear some previous episodes with both Jimmy and Rick. Jimmy and Rick were both originally the two head honchos, but Jimmy's having a spell on the sidelines. So we love you, mate. But yeah, it looks like people are flocking to the league now that you're gone. So that's unfortunate. Even Packett's come back. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, well let's leave Open Split there, and Open's catching on. That's great to see, and you can get some more top end talent in there and bump those. Obviously you had 60 registered, but you were sort of around about 30 to 40 cars. If you can get that up to 50 next season, it'll be a great barometer series for GT3 racing in Australia. But
I think
arguably
will use it for that. Excuse me, beg your pardon.
Yeah.
As you asked before, they will use it to practice for many other things, prepare, get their drivers on track in general. But I think now to they're coming over just for the series itself. As a GT Pro, well, we've all been hearing bits and pieces, and I guess we don't really know what's going to happen there with them in the future.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do well, whatever they're planning on doing. Yeah, but anyway, beg your pardon, cut you off.
I'm used to it, mate. Oh, well, it's exciting times then for Premier Endurance League with that in 2026. But a staple of the Premier Endurance League has been the limited series, or I guess for outsiders tuning in, we will sort of call it the cap series. It's capped around about, correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, around about 3.5K I rating, or is that changed?
No, I believe that's correct.
Okay, so yep, so this one typically fills the grids quite regularly, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, this one's it's a hard one to get into if you're not on the ball. At the start of the season, when things are released, you've generally got about 5 to 6 days the most, and then we're near packed out. I think this season we had, don't quote me, 8, 10, maybe more on the waiting list, wanting to get in as well. So yeah, they pack out pretty quickly, and you do see a number of the drivers on the waiting list get a go, which is good. But yeah, you've got to be fast, and yeah, we've been really fortunate with that series. They're always stacked out, very well known now for massive, grids, and the guys love it. It's a lot of fun. The density of cars is just insane. So yeah, street circuits are a great thing, hey? We'll have to hopefully pray for the same sort of thing, and hopefully we can use that other track.
Oh, that's awesome stuff. Have you? Sorry to put you on the spot, but across the season. So, I guess for context for listeners, the Open Series wrapped up at Fuji last night, and obviously Damon clinched that title there. The Limited Series has yet to do its final race at Fuji. So, I guess previewing this race now this weekend. Mate, can you tell us a little bit about the guys that are going to be fighting for the title in the elite and the open class? So
surely I'm close, right?
I don't know what to really say. Yes, mate. Yeah, you're awful close.
One race Hall of Fame person over here.
Yeah.
No.
Look,
but
the limited series is set to give us a pretty interesting night. We do have, I believe, the top 3 within like 20 points of each other, and we only have. Actually, I'll bring it up now. We've got here, Will Buchanan. He's also only 84 points behind, and then Brad Coates, same thing. Now, given that you can score 300 plus points in one of our events for both qualifying and the race itself, you never know what can happen here. And again, like we talked about before, the race has been as dramatic as what they can be, and all of a sudden, it can be turned on its head, and you've got the most dramatic things going on, and then people are just all over the place. So this is basically a race for the championship between almost the top 5, I guess you could say, also the top 3. So I'm pretty excited to see how it all goes, and I think it's going to be one hell of a broadcast. People are going to be pretty keen to watch it. Poor John Trott is mixed up in there. He's the only OPR car, one performance racing car in that top 5. The rest are all AITT Revolution E-Racing cars, and I think we've got a TriStar car down there in 6th. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be very excited about it.
It's is there a chance of rain?
I can't really comment, I think, on that one. I don't actually know.
Oh, what happened in last night's race then?
Nothing really. I think.
Nothing.
What do we have? Overcast, low temperatures from memory.
So
Yeah, nothing dramatic.
nothing dramatic. Okay, plain sailing. It sounds like the perfect conditions for Owen Coleman, actually.
Yes, yes. I believe that he would be quite fond of that.
Not too hot, not too wet.
Not too
Just
cold, not different. Yeah, Coleman likes his stuff, so we've got to make sure that is all on point.
It's like it's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears with the porridge.
Anyway, I'm not going to comment any further on this particular.
We're just
topic.
copping strays. This has gone down the drain very quickly. Oh dear. So, okay. Well, and so with the Challenger class as well. I think that one was pretty close from memory as well.
Yeah,
so
now, so we've got Adrian Gretsch, Greg Heaney, and Kurt Chap, and they are separated by 200 points, approximately 260 exact. So again, everyone within striking range, really, depending on the other person's result. For example, if Adrian Gretsch doesn't score any points, which can be the case, and someone else gets the win, it is what it is. So it's really good to see how this format of season plays out, because you get minimal chance really to extend the gap, being so many rounds. It's very likely, doesn't always work out, but it's usually likely that people aren't that far behind in the final round. So yeah, it'll present a good opportunity for us to see a good battle, and I think there's a few guys there that are pretty good, especially Gretschy. He has got some good pace when he puts it together. He can be hard to beat. Greg Heaney's the same, and we all know Kurt Chapman can really switch it on. Foz as well, Ben Brook, Chris Ruddle, and Brant Tucker's another one as well, who showed some really interesting pace. Managed to put it up around the top 10 overall in one of the rounds that's just passed. So yeah, we'll see some great stuff from them hopefully. And with a bit of luck, Packets won't stack anyone during the race, and we can all.
That would require a lot of luck. I was about to say, have you got any advice for Packets before he?
Oh, look.
We'll both be gritting up for the last round, but I think I know what to do, but I'm not sure if you'd like to offer Packets some free advice.
Well, look, I'm glad you mentioned it, because I was actually wanting to place another section in tonight's rundown sheet. And
hang on, I can't hear. Hang on, something's not right. I can't hear. Are you there, Ricky?
Mate, we've all spoken. Okay, I didn't want to involve your family, but I think this is going to have to be your intervention live on air. We're going to have to serve it up to you, mate. And do it for your own good. For your own benefit.
All right, let it happen.
Mate, I just don't know what to say. I'm heartbroken. I feel like I don't want to do this to you, but again, we've got to help him out, Dean.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely, we do.
We want to see him do well.
He won't help himself. I can tell you that much.
Oh, yeah. He's had every opportunity. So I constantly see a lot of stuff come across my desk, so to speak. And, you get some names that pop up more than others. And these situations are always so curious, interesting in general as to their point of view of circumstances that actually happen in the real world. You're faced with the dilemma of, and luckily myself, I'm quite well versed on this topic, I believe. My wife actually works with in the past has worked with special needs children, and I think I've seen enough of her to give me some ideas and options as to how best to interact with certain individuals that require our special care and attention. It's just one of those things you need to be able to adapt to, which I think I do quite well. So anyway, mate, I think you just need to reel it in a little bit. You're pretty excited out there, and young go-getter. You really want to take it to the other car, and you just, it's not always your fault, but you put yourself in these situations sometimes. We just think that maybe you'd benefit from some wisdom, and some of the older guys around. But all in all, I have to admit, actually, quite rarely, I admit this, but Mr. Hughes was actually, in my mind, not everyone else's, he was actually right about something. And I believe on the night when I finally seen the footage that proved this, I actually nearly dropped the glasses in my hand. Quite literally. I was shocked because I was presented with something that argued a point of his that no one would ever. A little bit of wisdom for everyone out there. Watch some of Jacob Hughes racing, and don't do what he does half the time. Sometimes you should. He does quite well sometimes, but other times, don't squeeze guys against the side of the track. Don't take dive bombs from an Olympic level. All in all, don't put yourself in a situation where you think that someone else is going to be able to ruin your day. And you'll have a better day. You'll have a better day overall. And so will the admin. So I just wanted to offer up a little bit of wisdom for you, mate. Help you along in your sim racing journey. I felt like I owed you that.
So what I took away from that is don't show up for the next race and you're going to get me some sensory stuff.
Just so
is that what I was meant to take away?
Just because you said that, I'm actually going to mail you something express post tomorrow. Can you tell me why your name just pops up everywhere? Why is it that I'm seeing you not only in my stuff but other stuff as well? What's going on? Just be truthful with us. What's your struggle inside?
What are you referring to? What do you mean
arguing with our RC, their RC? I think you're probably arguing with RC in your sleep. Actually, I've seen you do that once, or protested anyway.
Oh yeah.
That was actually a good video. You just love the guys. You just want to get in there and have a chat. I told you I was going to put you off the spot.
For someone that's got a lot to say, he's struggling a little bit at the moment.
I'm trying to think how I can articulate this in a way that allows me to return. I think the only thing I can say is when you look at my penalty versus appeal success, it says a lot as to who's more correct most of the time.
Interesting number. I'd actually like to see that. I would like to see that number. Genuinely. Dean, what's your thought on this? You've been watching him get himself into dramas for years now. What's your thought?
I personally, I think the 3 weeks between races is a real struggle for him. He really struggles to find some way to occupy himself. And I don't know. He almost seems like he's got energy for a fight every single time. So, yes, I agree with Ricky. Though you are a glutton for punishment. You'll always put yourself into a position where you'll get contact. But despite it being a 2-hour race, but yes, but unfortunately, he'll argue a point to death until you almost get a submission from the other.
I like having him around because it helps me find holes in our system.
Yeah, well,
sure enough, you'll find it.
What surprises me, Rick, is how well written his protests are.
Yeah, good old AI.
I have AI actually head to toe go over your whole rule booklet. Every document from head to toe from Premiere. I was like, learn this. I need you to know every rule, the ins and outs of everything. And then I had to pinpoint every scenario.
I'm pretty sure he's got a prompt template for a protest put in. That's why he asked for the PDF version of how to appeal the other day, because he's put a prompt template into AI to just automatically review stuff.
Oh my god, you are next level.
You're dealing with a different level of person here.
My AI literally knows the Premier Endurance League rules from head to toe.
Oh, that's gold.
He's taken out 4 AI subscriptions just to lodge protests. That's how vindictive this bloke is. This giggling person that everyone.
I'm kind of speechless to see how far he took it. Wow.
Oh dear. I fear we've delved into a conversation that probably no one else really understands, but it's I'm sure some people in Premier Endurance League will know exactly where we're coming from, but
yeah, everyone that's gone door to door with me.
Yeah. All the unjust the people feeling hard done by out there by you getting off all the time, but we'll wait and see for the last round. But look, I think we've gone through a lot of stuff tonight. We were going to touch on the GT3 Pro Invitational. We might just do it in a brief fashion now. I know we spoke a little bit about it during the Premier Endurance League wrap up, but we haven't really covered it much on the show this year. It was its first season, and I thought having Rick on as someone involved in running GT3 leagues, that there might have been some interest there. The GT3 Pro Invitational, for context, is put on by the same league that does the Logitech V8 Pro Invitational Series, which is pretty much the upper echelon of leagues in Australia. So, this year, in conjunction with the V8s, they put on the GT3 Series, which was a teams series, and again spaced out over 6 rounds. There was pretty much the cream of the crop in terms of Australian GT3 drivers are in there. And much like, I guess, Premier Endurance League, the event the championship was really dominated by Eclipse Sim Sport, just to give a really brief overview of how things played out. And, you can see from the championship table and stuff, I think they had the top 2 cars. And I can't even pronounce the 3rd place car, but I believe it was an overseas entry from Arete Esports, sorry, and a Vermilion Esports car in 4th. So, look, Rick, probably, similar to Premier Endurance League, this championship was really dominated by the Eclipse Sim Sport team. So, in your opinion, let us know a little bit about what you thought of this league, and I guess the team that won it in general, Eclipse. Like, you've seen them pretty much firsthand and how they operate. It seems to me that they're probably one of the stronger teams now in Australia.
Yes, yeah, very much so. The boys there are very good at what they do. They've got some of the strongest drivers getting around. Obviously, it shows in their results, dominating anything in terms of GTD at the moment. Damien himself is amongst best in the world for sports cars. And I don't know much about the GT Pro and its results. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to keep up with it as much as I wanted to. I know that they tend to do a pretty good thing. Looks like they had a reasonable season, and a lot of people enjoyed it. With the stuff they're doing there, I don't think all drivers were a fan of the format, just like with our stuff as well. Not everyone wants to drive 2 hours by themselves. Not everyone wants to do 3-hour events as well. Sometimes it just doesn't work out very well timing wise, for whatever reason they might have. Apart from that, it seems like they're doing a good thing, and whether it continues over there or not is, I think, something that's still kind of being worked out. I won't comment too far on that sort of stuff. But I hope whatever they do, they continue to do it and do it well. Wish them the very best, obviously, as well. We have seen a number of drivers that race there coming into our stuff, and so again, do their stuff. It's good in general for everyone involved that they keep doing what they're doing, and again, whatever it is they decide to do next season, I hope everyone enjoys it. And I think there are a few rumours in terms of Porsche and things like that, which is, things like that just make sense for them. It really does. Makes sense for a lot of people involved with it. Wish them the best. And as for the teams, mate, Eclipse, it's going to be hard to beat. There's some quick boys in there. The numbers are just insane. What can you say?
Yeah, they seem to have grown quite a lot. Packets, did you get a chance to drop in on any of these races? I have to admit that I didn't myself, and I kind of, looking back on it, wish I had of, because it was a new big series in Australia that, whatever they choose to do, I think this league, whether it's V8s will obviously always be there, but GT3 or whatever else, it's something that we should get behind, because they're obviously trying to elevate it to a new level.
Yeah. For me, I watched a couple of races, just sort of dribs and drabs, because a lot of the times will have YouTube just playing on the TV, and whatever live stream is on, or if there's one that's been on the last couple of days, I'll just bang it on and sort of have it on the background while I'm doing stuff. But I haven't exactly paid a close attention to it. I don't really pay close attention to a lot of GT3 series, only because there's a lot of them. I think the main ones I usually focus on is either Premier or GSRC. But I have sort of touched on a few rounds, but could not really tell you who's won or anything like
that. Yeah, fair enough. There is. I know the GT3s is sort of like, if a V8 Supercars Australia's bread and butter, a lot of leagues do default to then running the GT3 as something different. But we have got. There's a lot of GT3 leagues, but there's only really a handful of ones that run it well. Obviously, the GT Pro series would be one of those. But yes, I guess just in a quick summary, the Eclipse Sim Sport number 56 car won the overall championship from the Eclipse Sim Sport number 17 car. So they were pretty strong, really. There was another car that was there that was close by. So the 56 car had Dylan Burst, Damon Woods, Cody Deeth, and Eddie Beswick in it. So, and the 17 car was Zach Radaway Wright and Jamie Christensen and Gianni Liuzzu. So, some familiar names there that have popped up in Premier Endurance League as well. So they've, not only have they been strong in Premier Endurance League, they've been strong over in the GT3 Pro Invitational Series as well. So we'll remain to see if anyone can take the challenge to them in next season of the Premier Endurance League, Rick.
Well, hopefully. There's a few names there that haven't come over yet. we're hoping to see them in. There's also a few names that we're looking at internationally, mainly Europe, to bring over and put it to these boys and keep them on their toes.
So have you thrown the money bag at Packets yet to come and race in the Open Championship? He may not go toe to toe for pace, but you'll take him out.
Well, the Open Series, I will disclose one thing. The Open Series could be potentially, confirmed as yet, but going to a pre-qualifying format where we will only take the top X amount. So whether he makes it in or not is a whole different thing. If he does,
that sounds
God
like a
help
challenge. I guess while we're on the topic of class allocations, Dean, there was something that you yourself wanted to ask Ricky about your current class allocation within Premier and where you feel like, well, there's two sides. There's where you are and there's where you feel like you should be as far as classes go.
Well, I thought I'd hired you as my legal representative to get me reclassified into Challenger.
This is mediation.
No, I don't need my class reclassified. No, it's all good. We don't need to go there.
Well,
we do not need to go
just feel like...
my only comment to that is if you had showed up for class qualifying at the start of the season, it might not have been a problem.
Yeah. So, Dean's just still feeling hard done by that I threw him under the bus and dragged him up from challenge at elite.
Well, I just love the when we come back this season, Rick. I'm going to deviate once again, but when we come back this season, I told Packets under no circumstances. I gave him a guide on how he should enjoy his sim racing when he goes back to Premier Endurance League. So far, he's defied everything, and I can see history repeating itself again. But I said to him that he is under no circumstances to take on a league admin role with Premier Endurance League after he single-handedly went in there and told you that every one of our drivers should be elite. Now we have to live with that. And that...
If any problems later, I don't listen to him.
Yeah, good.
You earn it.
Well, once upon a time, you did allow him into the inner circle, and he caused a lot of mischief. So, but yes, I said he should do that. He should only practice once leading into a round because he burns himself out, and along the lines of that. And he's defied everything so far, and pick fights with race control. He's got a lot of pent up energy, Packets, but yeah, it's anyway, we digress once again, but that's where we're at. Like Rick, appreciate you jumping back in again, mate. Before we sort of close this one out, do you want to give some shout outs out to people that have helped you along the way with Premier Endurance League? And I know we did mention that Jimmy did move on, so you've got new admin there helping you as well.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of people really. First of all, Jimmy, he was a huge part of what we did to get to this point. Him leaving was a sad thing, but it was the right thing for his circumstances at the time. I completely understood. So I brought on Leith McElnott, who's been around with us for a long time. He's very, very well versed in the art of sim racing and all the stuff that comes along with it. And he's been a huge help to me this season. So a huge thank you to Leith. Rue Koistra, again, Rue, mate, I could never thank him enough. The guy is just unreal. He is just such a lovely person. Could never say enough about him. He's helped us so much. He does a lot of our imagery and also assists with a lot of the admin stuff that goes on in the background. Our systems and process and everything are actually pretty extensive, and takes someone with a huge brain like his to make it all happen sometimes. So again, a huge thank you, because we couldn't have done it without Rue. A memorial mention to, unfortunately, we had David Roberts pass away, who was very close with Rue, and also Lockie Cable, quite a few other people. And that hit everyone pretty hard, to the point where it actually upset our admin processes in the background a little bit. We'd had people that were struck down by the situation, and unfortunately that system had to get paused. So yeah, sad to see that happen. Our sponsors, obviously Dash Off Road, Matty Webber there, mate, terrific bloke, honestly. Awesome guy. We are very, very lucky again to have them on board, and him in particular as well. They've done a lot, and I hope continue the relationship. Speed, same again. Chris and Richard, we've known them for a long time now. They are again just terrific blokes, and they've been around and they've really supported us. They've really helped out quite a bit, and they're doing amazing things, and we're hoping again to see them next season in our stuff. And I think they're even gearing up for another huge push on their side, which is always great to see. So a huge thank you to them. Kibby Clothing, again, huge thank you. They also the support, and they contribute to all this sort of thing. Sim Racing in Focus podcast, always good.
Always reliable.
Yeah, always great to be with you guys. And again, we appreciate all the support, and the efforts that go into doing this sort of stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of other people out there I could rattle off, especially our whole driver panel. A lot of fellas that take the time to contribute information to what we're doing, and helping us improve things. A lot of these guys sometimes give up some of their own time, especially a lot of our race control and our broadcasters, commentators. People like Jay and Biggles and Scotty and Pete, all the guys, I see Lee, Lockie Capel, Tim Lawson, Scott Barton. Again, huge thank you to all of them as well, because you just can't do that sort of stuff without them. It takes a huge team of guys to really get this sort of thing done. But that's pretty much it. Everything. I don't really think of anyone else I need to thank apart from Packets. For showing up with his mustache and his hat.
Well said.
Whatever that is. Why does it say us on there?
It doesn't. It's LJS.
Oh, I can't read it properly because the camera's so shocking.
At least it's got a bloody camera, you goose.
At least you put black down.
No, really well said, mate. Obviously tough one for this season with Dave passing on, but big supporting cast there to help Premier Endurance League out. So good luck to the guys. To anyone listening that's been affected by Packets, I'm sorry, hang in there. He's not that bad.
Thank you to our competitors as well, before I forget.
Yeah,
all of them, every single one.
I don't.
Some of these guys that show up.
I don't know what he's.
Season after season. Yeah, we really do.
I don't know what he's going on about. I actually am that bad.
Oh, you're all right. Don't believe everything we said tonight, guys. He's not that bad. He's just overzealous sometimes.
Packets, have you got anything to shout out before we wrap this one up, mate?
Nah, I'm done with you guys.
You're far too modest. I'm gonna throw this one out there, mate. Can you give us the handle for the new Instagram page that you recently formed this week?
What, Packet Loss Racing?
Packet Loss Racing. So head over to Instagram and look up Packet Loss Racing and give him a follow. Packets, I'm going to talk. I'm going to say this because he won't. He's too. Believe it or not, he's actually modest. But he used to do a little bit of content creation. Our Packets back in the day, and he used to have a decent following with your moto vlogs, didn't you? But it's currently your theory that you've been blacklisted for creating some rather, let's say, over the line content, and now you're worried that you can never form another another social media account again because your IP's been blacklisted. So if anyone's listening, get over there and follow his page and fight the algorithm.
Bring back what was his name again? The guy on the bike? What was the name?
Kevy Mac.
Oh, Kevy Mac.
Yeah, your alter ego.
Oh my goodness. He's a good watch. Give him a watch. We need more like that.
Yeah. Well, that's how we ended up blacklisted. That's all I'm going to say. So, get over there. Packet Loss Racing on Instagram. Let's see if we can't get a few follows and him going. Obviously, with the Sim Racing in Focus podcast, you can get us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or if you're feeling so inclined, jump on Facebook, give us a like and a follow. Comments are always appreciated, even if they are somewhat negative. Just direct them at Packets. But other than that, we're going to wrap it up here. And until next episode, hopefully in a fortnight's time, it's bye for now.